And I noticed the back door rattles a lot in this one, eh? A lot of rattling. It's a little warmer today, you can definitely tell.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like -3 or 4, and then for the next couple of weeks we're in pluses, so it's gonna be fine. Yeah, the brakes only stay on like ever so slightly, but it's enough to keep the brake lights on.
Okay.
So people behind me are thinking that I'm driving with 2 feet, not letting off on the brakes. Probably when they have just an hour. Even though we can't drive with 2 feet, we need the left foot for the signal.
How is the retarder in this one? Have you used it?
Yeah, I've been using it today.
Oh, with the sticky brakes, that will help a little bit.
Yeah, I told Control and they said that it's not like a big problem. There's no safety issues or anything, and so they'll fix it when it gets back to the garage.
It's only if it's a coolant leak or something major. If the brakes start smelling or something. I had a bus like that once. I was on one like that. This bus is one of the really old ones.
Yeah, one of the oldest we've got. Other than that brake issue, this thing drives like it's new. Pretty good bus.
I can see I felt the sticking a little bit when you were braking.
Thank you.
Just a little bit. I see what you mean, ever so slightly. But you're right, valid point. It drives like it's new. You said this is your favorite series, right? Yeah?
Yeah. And then the 78s. And then the 79s and the 8000s, my least favorite. And those are actually the newer buses.
What are they? It's 2022. They're like 14, 15 years old or something. Yeah, they're newer than.
This one's like a 2001 or 2 or something.
When you take off, this thing pushes. It's one of those good buses. I've been on this bus a couple times. It's a good unit. This is gonna be your last break for a while when you get up to Douglas. When you got to Douglas, it must have been nice to settle down after that busy trip.
Well, no, because I only get like 2 to 3 minutes there at that time of day. Enough to use the washroom, and that's it.
What did you have on yesterday at one time? You must have had about 60 people. The brakes are good otherwise. I can see why it's not a major issue.
Yeah, it's happened, you know, with lots of buses. It's just a slight adjustment they have to make. There's no major things wrong with it.
There's a little more wear and tear on this bus. You can see the rust by the door there. But every so often they do like a retrofit. Didn't you say on your last key they gave the other guy the 15 minutes, the other key you did? You didn't get that extra overtime, right?
The last key I had,
Yeah, the other guy, he sat there for 15 minutes at Douglas Glen. They give him that time back, right?
Go to keep me under the overtime and then give the other guy back the time.
I remember that when we got up to Douglas Glen, you just had to take right off.
Well, they gave me 7 minutes to get from Riverbend to the terminal, which is fine. But then there was no other time. It just had to leave right away. Like, no fooling around.
The tranny's good in this one too.
Yeah, it's nice and smooth. It switches gears at the proper time.
That one you had last week, 7898, was wonderful. And the bell's nice and loud as well. The stop request thing.
bells, those old Jimmies. It was an actual bell, and it was right by our head. And sometimes they were so loud that we would have to take the covering off and put a couple of transfers in there in between where the little mallet thing hits the bell to soften it, so it wasn't as loud. Ding, ding. So you put, like, say, 3 transfers, like the width of 3 transfers in.
Really? That's an interesting fact. Like, it would be like one of those mini, like a fire alarm bell almost kind of thing. Noisy.
One time I had a really, really old Jimmy, and I was doing the Route 1684, and I'm in the morning, and I'm picking up like lots of students going to school, and it's just full of them. Like, there's a few standing, it's just full. And this bus that I had, there was no way to shut the bell off. It was on all the time. And once you rang the bell, most buses, that was it. You can't ring the bell again. But this was a really old one, and you could ring the bell as many times as you want. So we're coming down Southland Drive towards Southland Station, and someone rings the bell, and then someone else rings the bell, and then someone else rings the bell, and they just kept ringing the bell. And I noticed as I'm going across Elbow that there wasn't any like regular people on the bus. It was all these students. So I thought, okay, I just went right by the stop. So they going down to Southland Station. They're going, hey, stop. Okay. After hearing the bell go off like 50 times, I said, you know what, you wanted that stop, you have to ring the bell. They're all just silent. And get down to Southland Station and dropped a bunch of people off, picked up some, and then on the way back up towards Elbow Drive, the bell goes once.
Wow.
Ding! That was said, because he knew if they rang it a bunch more times, I was just here to go on.
Okay. You must have had a fully loaded bus that day.
Yeah, well, it was all students. That's why if there was any people like on the way to work or whatever, I would have pulled over, not knowing if they were going to get off or not. But there wasn't. Everyone was a high school student. So yeah, you're not going to ring the bell 50 times, because you think it's funny. It's just annoying. So yeah, they learned their lesson that day.
Oh, so I see what you did. You didn't stop, so.
Kept going. And of course, they know the bus goes after Southland, it goes right back up there, so nobody got off.
Yeah.
Some people got off. All the kids that, like about 30 of them, that wanted to stop so they could get another bus to go down to EP Scarlet. They also just stayed on the bus, and then going back up Southland Drive, the bell goes off once.
So, the run you did, they must have to get off your bus and go on the school run then.
No, there wasn't a school run for them to go to EP Scarlet.
Okay.
There was running through Braeside and stuff. There's a school run that goes to Peterborough. But if you go to EP Scarlet, then you just have to take regular transit.
Yeah. What is it? You had like a 7-800 series or something? Just really old.
Yeah, it was. Well, I can't remember any 70 or 700 series, but it was a 600, I think. Yeah, because we had these really, really old flyers that were 400 and 500.
Oh, I remember them. They were 1979, 1980 buses.
Just terrible, terrible buses.
I know a driver, he's retired now. He hated those buses.
Yeah, everybody did.
They had Detroits in them, I believe.
Just the seating position with the steering wheel.
And like they were kind of designed like the MCIs, a similar design, right? Kind of box.
No, they were more of a box. They were actually square, like
Yeah.
a rectangle.
Oh yeah.
With very little roundness on the edge. It was just
They were blue, weren't they? Right?
yeah.
Remember those? We had Orions too, if you can remember.
Yeah. Yeah, the front doors on those were really wild. They swung open, just one door, it swung open to the left. And if you're on the inside, it swung open to the left.
Oh wow.
And a lot of times, it would swing open, and then once it got to the point where it can't go anymore, it would bounce off and come back and hit the passenger dead in the eyes.
Gee.
Yeah, it was pretty.
So you had some bad style buses over the years. And those 7,500 new flyers.
Which ones?
Those 7,500 new flyers. Your first slow.
First batch.
Oh.
They were okay for the first few years, but after they got like 5, 6 years old, oh man.
Like these flyers here are great for 20-year-old plus buses.
Well, it was almost like that first series was an experiment because they didn't last very long. I mean, until they started falling apart.
Like,
Slowly learned. The 76s were a bit better, and then the 77s, they got it right.
with a refurb, you can put 20 more years on these if you got the whole motor and everything. They pushed it with the last few 7500s. They were around last couple in service till 2018. The 95 new flyers. The 93s were gone long before that.
Well, it was a happy day for me when they moved every 7500 bus that we had to Spring Gardens because I never worked out of Spring at that point.
And you started getting a few of these as well. I've been on some really early 7900s. They're good buses too. The Series 1s, I think. Then we have Series 2.
Yeah, those, the first batch of 79s came with 6 gears.
6-gear Allison transmission, yeah? Yes. Oh, 6 gears. That's good to know.
I like 5 better. 5's way better.
One thing about these 7900s, almost all of them, they're not breakdown prone very often. They got a bunch up at Spring, 7900s, the Series 1s.
Really?
Yeah.
Then we should move those down to Good Park.
They say that was the first reason they were having a fleet shortage issue. They needed more buses. They got 7908 to 17 all up at Spring Gardens. And then VP only has 7,900 to 7,907 and 79, 18, 19, and 20 up at Vic Park.
Yeah, that's why I never hardly ever get any.